Serbian is hard, but it can be easier. So just following these steps, your learning journey will be smoother because the lessons are interconnected with each other, so it's easier to understand. And by the way, I made a course in Udemy which using the same steps with exercises, lessons, and assignments, so you can check it out. I put the link in the description. Learning vocabulary. Learning vocabulary is very important because the more you know words, the more you can communicate effectively. So you can also express yourself in a different way. You can explain whatever you want, and also you will be able to understand what others are saying. So there's a lot of benefit when you know vocabulary. So it improves all the areas of communication: speaking, reading, writing, listening. And I also have a tip when you are learning Serbian vocabulary. First, learn the personal pronouns plus its auxiliary verb, because you will use this in almost all areas in the lesson, so that when you will learn the other grammar, it will be easier for you to understand. It will be faster because you know the personal pronouns and the auxiliary verb. Gender. Gender is also one of the important things that you must know when you are learning Serbian, because when you don't know this, you will have trouble on learning, especially the cases, because depending on the gender, the rules are changed. So that is why it's important for you to learn the gender. And the good thing for Serbian gender is you don't need to memorize each of the word, what gender is that, because they have these general rules. For masculine, it ends usually in consonant. Feminine, it ends a. Neuter, it ends o or e. By learning and familiarizing the general rules, you can almost always guess what gender is that word. Not always, because there are some words which are exemptions, which not using the same rule, but it's almost the same as in the other languages, but they are just few of them. So knowing the personal pronouns, vocabulary, and the gender, you can construct simple sentences. Like, for example, I can introduce myself. Yes, I'm Hani, I am Hani. It using the personal pronouns plus my name. And also, like, let's say I am hungry. So, ja sam gladna. So, the gladna there using the gender. And I am hungry. I am is the personal pronouns plus the auxiliary verbs. Now, the verbs. First, learn the past tense. Why past tense before present tense? This is because of your previous knowledge in the previous lesson, which is the personal pronouns plus auxiliary verbs and the gender. Because past tense using these two. Example, I bought. Ja sam kupila or kupila sam. Ja sam is the personal pronouns and the auxiliary verb. Kupila using the feminine gender because I am a female. Yeah, I bought because I'm the one who bought it. That is why for verbs, immediately go through the past tense, because it will be easier and faster for you to understand and to apply the rules, because you already know the personal pronouns and the gender in the previous lesson. After past tense is the present tense. I put the present tense before future tense intentionally because knowing present tense will make an advantage for you when you will learn future tense. Why? Because future tense rules using the present tense rules also. Example, you are buying. Kupish. It is the you which is the singular. So you see the ending is sh because of the you singular. And when you go to future tense, you will buy, it will be kupicheš. It is also ends with sh because of the you singular. The difference is the che, which using the future tense, which don't have in the present tense. So it means when you know those endings from present tense, it will be easier for you to memorize or remember the rules for the future tense because you already know that in the present tense. Just add the che. Now let's go to cases. For cases, start with accusative. It is the object of the sentence. Why to start with accusative and not the nominative, which is the subject of the sentence? Let's say you will learn nominative first, the subject of the sentence. The example is, I bought an apple. Ja sam kupila jabuku. The ja there, the I there is the nominative. Okay, you know that is nominative because that is the subject of the sentence. And if you are a teacher, the student will be confused why the jabuka, which is apple, became jabuku. And what you will say, we will reserve that for our next lesson, which is accusative. And for me, that is a no-no. Why not immediately introduce accusative to the student for him or her to know why it is from jabuka, why it became jabuku? Because the student already know how to construct I bought from the previous lesson verbs. That is why introduce, learn, teach the accusative immediately. The next for accusative is nominative. It is the subject of the sentence. It's just like a review. That is why after accusative, it's nominative. Next, the third case is the instrumental. I put the instrumental in the third place because instrumental is one of the case which is easy to spot, because when you see the word with, especially for those people who don't have cases in their native language or the language they know, you can easily spot what is instrumental just by looking the word with. Example, I bought an apple with my mother. I bought an apple, that is the nominative and the accusative, with my mother, because the my mother is with, it means that you will apply the instrumental to the with my mother. It's easier to spot because of the word with. The next for instrumental is the locative. Locative is the location. When you see that where you are at, then it's locative. Example, I bought an apple with my mother in the store. In the store is a location, is a place. That is why in the store is the locative. You will apply the locative in the store. The next for locative is dative. Why dative and not genitive still? Because all the rules for locative are identical with dative. So if you learn the locative rules immediately and automatically, you know the rules for dative. The additional thing that you need to learn is just when to use the dative case. It's like the direction and descending. If you know when to use that, you can apply the rules for locative, which is also for dative. The next for dative is the genitive. Why genitive? Because the remaining cases are just genitive and vocative, and genitive is more important than vocative. And there are some prepositions which you can spot which using genitive. When you see that preposition, you will know that it is genitive. So you can see it in my other video. The last is the vocative. You see, by following this order, it will be easier for you to understand each of the grammar. What you just need to learn is the rules. So you must, of course, memorize all the rules. I hope that it helps you with your Serbian learning. And if you still have difficulty on learning Serbian, you can message me. And also, I have a Serbian course in Udemy, so which following these steps, you will watch the lessons, you will get a test so that it can assess what you learned from the video and so on. I hope that you get something from this video, and see you on other places.